Did ancient people really possess knowledge that we do not have today? Knowledge of time itself, perhaps, or encounters with beings not of this world. Across the globe, archaeologists are uncovering artifacts that simply do not belong to the age they date back to. A wristwatch buried centuries before watches even existed. A crystal lens from a time when optics weren't even invented. Light bulbs carved into the walls of Egyptian temples. According to carbon dating and geological evidence, these objects predate the very technologies they resemble by thousands, even millions of years. If these findings are accurate, then knowledge, or perhaps even objects, may have somehow slipped through time. Part 1. The Swiss Watch Ring. In 2012, during an excavation at a 400-year-old Ming Dynasty tomb near Shaanxi, China, a researcher brushed away the dirt from a small metallic object buried beside the remains. At first, they thought it was just a ring, but when they cleaned it, they froze. The tiny object looked exactly like a modern wristwatch, complete with a winding knob and even the engraving of the word Swiss. Even more unbelievable, the time on the miniature dial was frozen at 10:06. The Ming Dynasty ended in 1644, more than 2 centuries before Switzerland even began producing wristwatches. How could something like that possibly exist inside a sealed, untouched tomb? The artifact showed corrosion consistent with centuries-old burial conditions. While mainstream archaeologists called it coincidence, for those who saw the evidence, the resemblance was impossible to ignore. Part 2. The Salzburg Cube, Wolfsegg Iron. In 1885, near the Austrian town of Wolf, a coal worker split open a block of lignite that had been buried for millions of years. Inside that solid chunk of ancient coal was something that stopped him cold. A small, perfectly formed metal object. It was angular, symmetrical, and clearly shaped by human hands. Yet, the coal it was found in dated back 60 million years. Scientists examined it and named it the Salzburg Cube. The object, with its sharp edges and a deep groove running around its middle, looked more like a piece of machinery than a natural mineral. Initial tests showed that it was made of nearly pure iron, far too refined for any known tool from the ancient world. If the coal was truly tens of millions of years old, how could anything man-made be sealed inside it? Part 3. The Nimrud Lens, London Crystal Lens. In 1850, deep in the ruins of Nimrud, the ancient Assyrian capital in modern-day Iraq, British archaeologist Sir Austen Henry Layard uncovered something that didn't belong. Among broken pottery, he found a small, oval piece of rock crystal, perfectly shaped, polished, and slightly convex. When light passed through it, it magnified objects behind it, just like a lens. This discovery, today resting in the British Museum, would be known as the Nimrud lens. The lens is over 3,000 years old, dating back to a time when, according to mainstream history, optical technology simply didn't exist. Despite this, the small crystal was shaped with such precision that it could easily serve as part of a telescope, a magnifier, or even a primitive camera lens. Researchers found fine polishing marks on its surface, the kind that would require controlled, repetitive grinding. Some suggest it may have been used by Assyrian craftsmen to create their incredibly detailed carvings, while others go further, suggesting it was proof that the ancients understood lenses long before Galileo or Newton. Part 4. The Dendera Light. Deep under the Temple of Hathor in Dendera, Egypt, there is a small hidden chamber covered in carvings that have puzzled experts for years. On the walls are scenes showing people standing beside huge bulb-shaped objects, each one connected by what looks like a wire to a box-like device. Inside those shapes, you can see curved lines almost like glowing filaments. To modern eyes, the images look almost too familiar. They look like light bulbs. This Dendera light theory suggests that perhaps the ancient Egyptians had some kind of advanced knowledge, a way to create light without fire. Here's the strange part. Deep inside Egypt's temples and tombs, the walls are bright and clean, with no smoke, no soot, and no burn marks anywhere. If they used oil lamps or torches, there should be signs of fire, but there aren't. Part 5. The Lovelock Cave Giants. In the dry desert of Nevada lies a cave that changed the way people looked at ancient legends. Lovelock Cave. For the local Paiute tribe, it has always been a place surrounded by dark stories about a race of giants who once lived in the area. In the early 1900s, when miners entered the caves searching for fertilizer, they found something no one expected: human skeletons that were far larger than normal. Some reports said the bones measured over 7 to 8 feet tall. One skull was so large that a normal human jaw could fit inside it. A strange detail kept being reported. The hair found in the cave was not black like the native tribes, but red or reddish-brown. That detail matched exactly what the Paiute elders had always said, that the giants had red hair. Are all these pieces of evidence merely bizarre coincidences? Or are they fragments of a technology and a civilization that history has forgotten? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.